Hello everybody, welcome to LilyLuLou. My name's Karen, I'm the Junk Journal Geek, and I'm here today to start my efforts for Dephemerember 2025. If you don't know about Dephemerember, there will be a link in the description box below where the hosts, which are Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel, they've got a page on their website all about this, so I will link that in the description box below. But I'm working on the first prompt today. I know this will be going up after the 1st of December, but I am going to be a bit hit and miss with this, so I'm working on my first prompt today. And the first prompt is page tab and moth-eaten lace. Now, I did mention in my previous video that I was in the middle of watching Louisa and Barbara's live, where they were giving more information about the way it's working this year, and I didn't finish watching that, so I'm still not quite sure what compartmental working is, but I'm just going to go for it anyway. So these are all the bits that have been sent to me by Claire over at Purple Poppy. We did a swap of stash items for this year's Dephemerember. So I'm just going through here and looking for things that might be good for page tabs, things that might work. So I'm just pulling out some bits and pieces that I might want to play with. So I really don't know how I'm going to use this. It's too precious, but I'll worry about that when we get to it. Right. That might be useful. That's my card. We've got some fabricy bits here. Now we need to think about moth-eaten lace. So we've got this netting. We've got this trim. I might be able to do something with one of these. This lace looks very old because it's tea dyed. And it is holey, but it's supposed to be holey. This lovely fabric that Claire sent me really reminds me of moths. I think it's the colours. So we might use some of that. I don't think we'll want that one today. And I don't think we'll want that one today. And then we've got our precious bits and pieces here. Not sure we will want those today. So we can make a start with what we've got, what I've pulled out. Let me pop the rest of it over here. It is just next to me, so I can rummage if I want anything else. Still don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this. Could we make some sort of page tab out of that, do you think? I've got some glue stick, and also I did have next to me a book page if I wanted to. This isn't from Claire, this is just a book that I have. I thought I might be able to use that as bases for things. I need a slurp of tea. I've got Christmas puddings steaming at the moment, so I might have to pop you on pause and go and check them at some point. Now I'm trying to, when I'm working on Dephemerember, I'm going to try and use only the stuff that's on my desk. I'll probably fail, but that's what I'm going to try and do. So I've got all sorts of bits and pieces lying around here. So let's make a start. So we could just tear some strips of this book page to start with, couldn't we? To be possible bases for page tabs. One thing that I thought might be useful is to have a piece of paper next to me to act as a faux journal page, which I haven't got, but I'm sure I'll have something within grabbing distance. So what I could do is do a sort of, on one of these I could do like a snippet strip, and oops, I've got my iPad next to me and it's pinging and making noise. I don't know if you can hear it, so I'm trying to turn it down, sorry, just so that it's not distracting. Right, yeah, I could maybe start off with some sort of snippet strip and then cut that up into page tabs just to get going. So shall we have some of this? Is any of this the right length? That is the right length. So we could snip that there. Does this rip? Oh yes, very satisfying. So we could have that there. I'd tell you one thing I did want to get out when I saw this prompt, which I have forgotten to do, is I wanted to get out, oh, can't get the lid off my glue. I wanted to get out, what did I want to get out, Karen? I wanted to get out some moths, because if this is supposed to be moth eaten, I wanted some moths on it and I forgot, so I'll have to go and grab that in a minute. I'm totally unorganised, aren't I? I'm looking for some sort of glue page now, so goodness me, I'd be dangerous if I had a brain. Right, what can I use as a glue page? There must be something lying around here. Oh, for goodness sake, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to use a piece of paper. There we go. I'm going to glue up that strip. So I've just put glue stick all over that strip. I'm just checking if this has a right and a wrong side. I mean, obviously it does have a wrong and a right side. I'm just trying to work out which one's which. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go that way, because the stitching on this piece is more raised on this side. Right, so that's our background for our snippet strip. I've got some other little bits and pieces here in front of me that I might use. I've got stamps and all sorts of bits and pieces just lying around on my desk, so I might be grabbing them in a minute, as I say. So I want to use a bit of this, but it's too precious. I might pop some of that, just a little bit, cut off one of the little flowers. Also, you know, we've got a month of prompts here to work with. We don't want to use all our lovely bits in one go, do we? And look, that's a flower where that bit's missing. That's where the moth's been. So that's going to go up there. I'm going to just cut off the top of this so that it is, I'm being very naughty, these are not fabric scissors, they're just general scissors. So I'm going to have that on there somewhere. What else am I going to do? Am I going to put some of this on? Maybe we should have the flower down here where all these, where this stitching is. Mind you, I'm not going to see much of this when we've got other things on there, are we? We could have a bit of, maybe a little bit of this somewhere. To make it look more tatty, as if the moths have been at it. I know it's not strictly lace, but what else have I got here? I've got these. These are my own bits of lace that are, you know, bits that I've cut off of other things. So we could tatty that up a bit and have some moth-eaten lace. And this one's too big. Save that for something else. So what else do we want on here? It was only moth-eaten lace and page tab, wasn't it? So we don't need to, there's nothing else we're required to add. So it's just basically putting on some bits of decoration. I'm not sticking these down because I feel like I might want to, you know, layer things. I might want to put things on top that I have previously put underneath, or vice versa. More tea. What does Louisa call this? Junk journal medicine. So I want some decorative bits on here. That's similar colours to what's going on, so we could pop that on. What else have I got lying around here? Some bits of paper. So we have a mixture of paper and I'm having bits hanging over the edge in some places, so that when the, you know, it's on a page as a tab. Maybe I should put that around that way. But I don't want to decorate it too much because, you know, whatever journal this will end up being used in, we will want to sort of tie it in, won't we, with what we've got. Got a number 8 there. So yeah, let's just start sticking these bits down. I might stick them down and then I might stitch through the whole lot, and then we'll cut it into page tabs. So we'll pop that there. I wanted that there to hide that bit of sticky. Not sure how this netting's going to stick on, but actually I might put that over this piece. We'll put that bit of paper on. Under there. Stick this down. I'm going to pop that there because there's some of the pretty embroidery underneath there. I'm going to pop that over the top. Not sure if that will stick, but we'll stitch it if it won't stick. Then my little moth-eaten flower. Down here. And my number 8 down here. And then I'm going to leave that for a minute because I'm going to run it through the sewing machine. So we'll just give the glue stick a chance to dry. Also, I need to put you on pause when I go to the sewing machine. So I will leave that for now. I was thinking that this might be a nice page tab that we could put on one side and then decorate the back. Is this actually a sticker? I'm not sure. But anyway, if I'm sticking something on the back, it doesn't matter, does it? So, whoops, I just saw something that could be a journal page. There we go. So if we had that maybe stuck on one side, we could decorate the other side, is my thought. So that would be another one. Maybe we could have, now we need to think about this, because whatever page we're going to put it on, we can only decorate half of the, so pen, pencil, something. Pen not working, of course. Why is it when you turn the camera on, everything goes pear-shaped? That one's working. Right, so obviously we could do this either way. So if this piece, this side was stuck on, we don't want to decorate that bit, we want to decorate that bit. Makes sense? So if that was sticking on there, yeah, this edge. So I'm thinking that this could be hanging off one side. That way. And we could, oh, in fact, we could, yeah, we could do it there. We've still got space there to glue, but then we want something underneath there to make it more interesting. So we could put that there, and you can just see the writing underneath. And then if we, can I pull this, or do I need to trim each one? There we go. I know this isn't lace, but we're doing, you know, our interpretation. So I'm just going to rough this up a bit to make it look more moth-eaten. So now we're only going to want half of this little strip of paper, really. Where does that go? If you want to stick that there, I want to tear that about there ish. I've done this the wrong way round, but let's just be careful. Right, this does feel like a sticker on the back, so I'm hoping that the Pritt stick will work. Get the little one, pop some glue on there. My fingers are sticky now. Oh, I don't think I've asked you all how you are. That's very rude of me, isn't it? How are you? Hope you're all well. Are you doing any Christmas prep? I'm going to my daughter's in England for Christmas. if you're new here, I live in Northern Ireland. You can probably tell from my voice, I'm from London originally. I've lived all over the place. Currently living in Northern Ireland. I'm going home to my daughters for Christmas. So I'm making Christmas pudding to take with me. So they're in the look, I've got lots of fluff left over from jigging about with that. I'll trim that there and trim that there. So if we had that on a page like that, from the other side, it would look like that, which I think is quite nice. Not sure if it's moth-eaten enough or if we've done enough to it. But as I say, we're going to want to come back and, you know, one thing I have done there, I've just realised, I've stuck my paper underneath on upside down. But if we used it that way, it would be up the right way. Oh no, that's all right. That's okay. I haven't done it upside down. And I can use that either way round because it's going to be sideways, so... Not sure if I'm going to stitch this one or not. There's just a little bit there falling off the edge. I'm trying to get it back on. So at the end of it's moth-eaten. Maybe a bit of art glitter just on the end there. So we've got a bit of a chewed end there where the moth's been at it. Right, let's pop that one to one side. How long have we been? Now, this could be a page tab, couldn't it? That's black and white paper. What would we want with that? Some more of this, maybe? I like those numbers. But I don't know what we're going to do about moth-eaten lace in that case. I like this surf duck. I'm going to take a little bit more off the top there. I feel like I want some ink on this one. Trying to think if I've got anything. Oh, now I sent Claire some netting. Wonder where I've put it because I'd quite like a bit of that behind there. I'm just going to pop you on pause for a moment. I'm back again. Famous last words, wasn't it? Saying, oh, I'm only going to use what's on my desk. Right, I sent some of this to Claire and I think it works well as moth-eaten. It's not lace, but look at the state of it. So we might put some of that on this little tab, and then I've also got some other bits and pieces here that might work. So, but I think this is what I want. I just don't know how I want it. So I'm going to chop a little bit of that off. it's literally falling apart as you're using it. This was, I got this, it was Halloween decoration. I don't know if it was supposed to be spider web or what have you. And just, I want some of that to give it a bit more texture, but I don't want to cover up too much of what's behind, because I like those numbers and everything. Sorry for the table jogging, that's Max trying to get as close as he possibly can, and he's now got me walked out. I like this because it sort of looks the shape of a tab, doesn't it? Right. So the question is, do I want the K hanging off that side or that side? I think I want it that side. I know I keep going to that side, but I think that's what I want. So I'm going to try and stick the K onto this, whatever this is. It's literally disintegrating as I'm using it. Probably want the slimmer bit of how many glue sticks do we want on the go at once? All the glue sticks. Right. Just trying to arrange these a bit and hope that the glue stick, you know, will be dry and not sticky by the time I actually come to use this in a project. Wow, what a mess. Okay, so I like the shape of that, you know, it reminds me of a proper tab. Not convinced that that is going to stay on there, but might have to go back and put some art glitter glue underneath it at some point maybe. And then maybe we could have a little bit of this. Just a bit of an extra zhuzh there. I think I'm going to pop that on with some art glitter glue. If it wants to come out. Come and play, art glitter glue. Right. Want that side showing through on the other side. I got out those dangly bits as well in case I wanted to add any dangles onto any of these. Put the wrong pin in that glue. It's all rusty now. It's all stuck to my finger. Right, so that's that. Do we want anything else under there? Might have to pop a clip of some sort on that to hold it until it's dry. And then I was thinking of using some of these dangly bits that Claire sent me on these. But I think I might need to wait until I'm actually using them in a journal, because I don't know what would go with what. Right, while I had you on pause, I went and stitched this one so that I didn't have to turn the camera off again. So I don't know if you can see, I did a zigzag all around the edge, and then I just went down the middle to try and make sure that I've caught everything along there. So now I can chop this anywhere to make a page tab of any size I want. So I might just cut it there and just have the red one, or I might do it halfway and have a nice long page tab. I could just have number 8. Oh, excuse me. Down there. So yeah, this is quite versatile now. I'll get at least, even if I cut it in half, I'd get 2 page tabs out of that, but more likely I'll get 4 or 5. I've got that one. Did I do another one? Oh yes, I did this one, didn't I? So this is number 6. Got a nice long page tab there with the quote on the other side. And then I was going to look and see if I could do anything with this spoon. I'm wondering if we could use that as a page tab, or should I wait and see if another prompt would be more suitable for the spoon? I'm just having a quick glance at the rest of the prompts, hoping that's not cheating. Not sure. I think I might save that because I think it might be a bit heavy on a page edge. And there's, what did I just say? I thought some of the other prompts, we've got a bookmark. We could make that perhaps into a bookmark with the spoon sticking out the top. We've got belly band, we could maybe stick it there and there and use it as a belly band. Don't know if that would work actually. Forgotten snacks. Could we do something with that for forgotten snacks? Not sure if we've got a dangle anywhere. Can't see off the top of my head. I was just thinking I could put a hole at the top there and make this as part of a dangle to go on a journal spine. I might put that to one side for now and see how we go. So that's what I've done today. So I keep going to that side, don't it? Although I could have that round that way really. There's no reason why I can't. Because in reality, who's going to be able to see that, read that writing underneath? So there's my page tabs today using tattered lace. I know that's not strictly lace, well neither of that is strictly lace, but that's my prompt. And when I come to use these, I think I'll cut them up and I might add the moths on that I wanted to add on, but as I say, I forgot to get them out before we started, so that will be another day. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, and until next time, enjoy your own crafty time. Bye bye.